This video gives a general overview of the proposed intersection improvements to a section of US 401 in Fuquay-Varina in Wake County. Additional information on the project can be found on the project webpage. You can submit questions or comments via the contact information provided later in this video and on the website. The NCDOT Division 5 project manager for this project is Ahid Belush. VHB is the project consultant providing preliminary engineering. The project manager is Candice Andre. NCDOT is proposing improvements along the US 401 corridor in Fuquay-Varina in southern Wake County. The project proposes to reconfigure several intersections along US 401 to reduced conflict intersections. These intersections include the US 401 intersections with Hilltop Needmore Air Park roads and with Lake Wheeler Road. The project would also realign Hilltop Road on new location to intersect US 401 opposite Lake Wheeler Road. Two alternatives are proposed, and each alternative has two options. This project addresses the need to reduce congestion and improve mobility along US 401 in southern Wake County. It will relieve present and future traffic congestion and improve mobility issues caused by traffic flow. Steady growth in the region has contributed to an increase in traffic congestion in this area. The facilities are currently operating with significant delays and operational deficiencies. Two alternatives are being considered for the corridor, and each alternative has two options. Alternative 1A would upgrade the US 401 corridor to include two 12-foot lanes in each direction, a 36-foot depressed median, 4-foot graded shoulders on the inside, 10-foot graded shoulders on the outside, a 5-foot sidewalk on the west side, a 10-foot multi-use path on the east side, a 30-foot clear zone between the shoulder and the sidewalk multi-use path, and a reduced conflict intersection at Lake Wheeler Road. This alternative proposes a 60 mph design speed. Alternative 2A would upgrade the US 401 corridor to include two 12-foot lanes in each direction, a 23-foot raised median between curb and gutter on each side, a 5-foot sidewalk on the west side, a 10-foot multi-use path on the east side, a 4.5-foot clear zone between the back of curb and the sidewalk multi-use path, and a reduced conflict intersection at Lake Wheeler Road. This alternative proposes a 55 mph design speed. Median openings and bulb outs to accommodate U-turns will be located within 600 feet of intersections on US 401. New traffic signals are proposed at the reconfigured intersections along US 401 and most of the U-turn locations. These signals will help facilitate U-turn movements, which will minimize impacts to businesses by allowing customers to more conveniently access businesses along US 401. After selecting the alternative, 1 or 2, the option of traditional reduced conflict intersection can be determined. The difference between option 1B and 2B is the type of proposed RCI at US 401 and Hilltop Needmore Air Park Road. Alternative 1 proposes a traditional RCI at the intersection, and Alternative 1B proposes a reverse RCI. A traditional RCI would allow left turn movements off of US 401 onto Hilltop Needmore Air Park Road. A reverse RCI would allow left turn movements from Hilltop Needmore onto US 401. Both alternatives propose the same typical section for Lake Wheeler Road and the realigned portion of Hilltop Road. The project proposes one 12-foot lane in each direction with graded shoulders, a 5-foot sidewalk, and a 10-foot multi-use path, with a sidewalk and multi-use path being separated from the travel lanes by a 20-foot clear zone. At Dwight Rowland Road, two alternatives are being proposed. Option 1 would provide graded shoulders and no bicycle or pedestrian amenities. Option 2 would provide a 5-foot sidewalk on both sides of the roadway. The sidewalks would be separated from the back of curb by a 4.5-foot clear zone. The typical section for the new realigned Hilltop Needmore Road is very similar on both alternatives. Alternative 1 would provide curb and gutter and sidewalks on both sides of the roadway with the sidewalk separated from the back of curb. Alternative 2 would provide curb and gutter, a 5-foot sidewalk on one side, and a 10-foot multi-use path on the other. The sidewalk and multi-use path would be separated from the back of curb by a 4.5-foot clear zone. The Air Park Road typical section is the same for both alternatives, with curb and gutter and a 5-foot sidewalk on both sides of the roadway. The sidewalks are separated from the back of curb by a 4.5-foot clear zone. The last typical section is for the existing Hilltop Road. Alternative 1 proposes graded shoulders with no bicycle or pedestrian facilities. Alternative 2 proposes curb and gutter with a 5-foot sidewalk on both sides of the roadway. The sidewalks are separated from the back of curb by a 4.5-foot clear zone. Because the project will be constructed with federal transportation funds, project planning must follow a process outlined by the National Environmental Policy Act, or NEPA. The NEPA process requires federal agencies to investigate and consider the environmental effects of their proposals, document the analysis of these effects, and make this information available to the public. An environmental document known as a categorical exclusion, or CE, is being prepared for this project. This type of document is prepared for projects that typically do not have significant environmental impacts. The CE looks at potential impacts of the project to water resources, the local community, wildlife, and any historic and archaeological sites. Shown here is the current schedule for the project. Preliminary engineering is ongoing, and the categorical exclusion is anticipated to be complete in fall 2022. The right-of-way acquisition process is anticipated to begin in summer 2023. NCDOT expects construction to begin by fall 2024. Please note that all future dates are subject to change. This project is included in NCDOT's 2020 to 2029 State Transportation Improvement Program, or STIP, as Project HL0006. For both design alternatives presented, cost estimates were calculated. For Alternative 1, the design with graded shoulders, the total estimated cost is $26,209,000. For Alternative 2, the design with curb and gutter, the total estimated cost is $22,495,000. All costs are preliminary estimates and subject to change. NCDOT encourages you to view all project materials and submit questions and comments to the project team. The project map, typical sections, and other materials can be viewed or downloaded from the project website. If you have questions or comments, you may submit them on the project website or send us an email. You may also call the project number to leave a message, and if necessary, someone from the project team will reach out to you. Comments on the proposed project should be provided to NCDOT by September 9th, 2022. Don't forget to sign up on the website for project updates.